10 toxic things parents say to their children and what they really mean. Parents are supposed to be the ones you can depend on during downtimes and look to for guidance. Unfortunately, many parents say emotionally harmful things that can have a lasting negative psychological effect. This isn't an out-of-date phenomenon. Just 10 years ago, the number of children living in such an environment was approximately 55,000, as noted by the program Prevent Child Abuse America. Let's explore what toxic parents say and try to understand what they mean and the impact it has on their children. Read on to know the 10 things toxic parents say and the real meaning behind their poisonous word. 1. You look terrible. You know the phrase "only a face a mother could love"? It means that parents should be supportive of your appearance. So, when a child is image-shamed by them, insecurities skyrocket. The open possibilities of what this statement means explode in the child's mind and could lead to core body issues in the future. 2. I'm going to send you to boarding school. Saying that they're gonna send you away communicates that they don't love you enough to want you around, and they don't want to guide you or raise you. 3. Once you're 18, I'm kicking you out. Reaching the age of majority, which is most common at 18, technically marks the legal beginnings of adulthood. So, when a parent says this, it gives rise to feelings of guilt. The almost adult often feels like they're a burden, and that maybe things would be better for the family if they left. 4. You're the worst student. Even though many of us tend to be aware that there is always someone better than us, it's quite the downer to hear from our parents the implications that there's no one worse than us. These types of remarks can feel like a confirmation of the receiver's negative self-thoughts. 5. You are terrible at sports. One can substitute the word sports for any hobby or activity taken up by the child. This makes the child self-conscious about their skills, which can turn to anxiety, degrading performance further, and eventually even replacing the association of enjoyment of the activity with tension and fear. 6. You're the worst student. Even though many of us tend to be aware that there is always someone better than us, it's quite the downer to hear from our parents the implications that there's no one worse than us. These types of remarks can feel like a confirmation of the receiver's negative self-thoughts. 7. You are so ugly. Short, skinny, fat. Toxic parents do that because they suffer from body image issues themselves, even though they will never admit it, and in order to feel better about their insecurities, they put you in their line of fire. Constant insults and jabs towards your physical appearance can lead to eating disorders and various emotional issues in the long run. 8. You should be more like your brother, sister, cousin. When parents compare siblings with each other, it can cause a lot of emotional damage. Every child is unique, and when toxic parents draw unfair comparisons, they knowingly or unknowingly pit them against each other. This doesn't just damage their sense of self-worth, it also damages the relationship they share with each other, leading to a toxic sibling rivalry. 9. Having you was a mistake. I wish you were never born. This is one of the most toxic things parents say to their children. And if you've ever had to hear this, then I am so sorry. When parents say something like this to their children, feeling unnecessary and unwanted by your parents is one of the worst feelings ever. And to go through this day in and day out can be crushing. This kind of thing stays with you for the rest of your life and can even lead to depression, anxiety, and suicidal tendencies. 10. I sacrificed a lot for you. Whatever you're today is because of me, so be grateful for it. This is one of those things toxic parents say when they want you to feel indebted to them for life. They conveniently forget the fact that as a parent it's their responsibility to take care of you and give you a good life, and instead use their basic responsibility as a way of manipulating you into doing what they want you to do. They will attack you every time you go against them, but try not to let this get to you. They do this because deep down inside they are highly unsatisfied and unhappy with how their lives turned out. They couldn't achieve what they wanted, and now in order to compensate for that, they are dumping their beliefs and broken dreams on you and forcing you to fulfill them. Many of these toxic things parents say are more than just poisonous hot air. They're also verbal abuse wherein a pattern of behavior is used to maintain power and control over another. Therefore, it's particularly important to be aware of what qualifies as toxic.